Hey everyone, my name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. I know we've got uranium, a lot of big moves today. I figured I'd do an update. We've got some people asking about a company, ticker symbol LEU. I think it's called Centrus Energy or something. So I charted that for you guys. And I stepped back, took a bigger picture, and I charted everything out to ensure we don't miss anything in this uranium update. So let's jump into the charts. I'm gonna go in right into charting. And we're going to chart the price of uranium first. So the price of uranium is right here. You can see that we broke a downtrend. This is a downtrend that we've got. Nice big strong move up. And I zoomed in on this section here. The section looks like this. You can see that downtrend. It pulled up. And here, this is a new uptrend. Step one's breaking the downtrend. That's step one right here. Step two is a higher low, which we have. Step three is breaking that higher to make it a higher high. All it's doing is coming back and back testing the top of this high, and we're starting to come off that bottom here. We're breaking this downtrend line right here, this lightly drawn in line. And what I see here is this thing's just going to eventually move on up. We are in a new uptrend. We have been for a little while. And that's what made me think that we are bottoming in all these companies. So let's start looking at some of the companies themselves. Now, this is URNM. We take a step back, we draw this picture out. It broke out, came back, and we're moving on up to the upside. Maybe the oil price has an effect on uranium, I'm not sure, but it's sure looking very good. The buyers are all still there, and we are going to the upside. That's what I'm seeing now. Here's Cameco. This is a big picture view. Broken downtrend. We broke step one's to break the downtrend, which we did. Step two is a higher low. And step three is we broke this big, we'll call it resistance level here. That's step number three. We are now in an uptrend. So it is looking very good for Cameco. And I zoomed in here. This is what it looks like. We broke this. This could be a shoulder, a head, and a shoulder. We were going to have a little bit of a pullback off of, let me see here. No, I didn't zoom in. I said we were going to have a potential pullback here. All it did was last for 1 day. That's all it lasted. And the buyer stepped right back in and shot this guy higher. So that looks good. Here's Global Atomic. Another big picture view. Now look, this thing keeps bouncing off the top of this rail. So if you have the opportunity and you like this company, buy it off. If it pulls back and hits this rail, buy it off the top of the rail. That's a strategy there. So that Global Atomic looks good. Encore Energy, another large chart pattern. It broke to the upside, and I'm looking for something that were to come back. It's been fighting back and forth when you look in on it. Large wicks at the top, large wicks at the bottom. But looking at the entire sector, uranium is looking extremely strong. And the companies that I was seeing having a little bit of a pullback, they reversed very quickly the next day. So I'm seeing a lot of strength. Here's deep yellow. If we break this big pattern here, I think we could see a substantial move to the upside. So it's coming. It looks very good. Deep yellow is looking very good. Here's Paladin, same thing. It pulled up. I'd have to zoom in here. I didn't zoom in on Paladin, but that one's looking really good. Here's UU. So I zoomed out, drew this across. We broke out, and then we pulled back pretty hard to this top of the line here. That was all the pullback we had. That's all she could muster. And here we are pulling back up again. So again, go ahead, add into these, we got that little pullback. That's all it could muster. Everything is looking very good now. With energy going up in terms of oil, up 5% today, I think these are probably going to catch a bid as well. So, which they did. But I'm saying going forward, they may continue to catch bids because the oil sector also looks very good to continue higher. Next Gen Energy. Now look at this little wick right there. See that little wick? It touched the top of this line right here. It came back, pulled back, touched it, and now we're going up. So all that pullback was a 1 day, let's touch the top of this pattern. It was a touch and go. It was boom, and then it reversed very quickly. So this one's looking very good, NXE. And keep in mind, when we do the short-term chart patterns, when I'm looking at these things, some of these companies can change very quickly. You could have a bearish pattern, and then all it lasts is a day or a two, and that's it. It reverses very quickly. And news can affect this stuff. A whole bunch of things can affect these things. So this is looking very good. We're sitting here on top of the pattern, and I've done videos on buying into strength. If you want to buy into strength, this is your strength. We broke this large pattern, and it could potentially move quite a bit higher. Here's Sky Harbor, showing you the pattern here. Broke to the upside of this sideways flag pattern. Looking good. Standard Uranium, I kind of zoomed in on this one. Broken downtrend, and it's looking pretty good. I mean, even if it goes sideways a little bit, but it's looking good. I think they all look very, very strong. Laramide Resources broke its downtrend, pulled back. That's where I bought it, was right on the pullback, and I'm just sitting in it. But it's looking pretty good. Bannerman Resources. Now, I zoomed in on this to teach you guys something. Again, this is a financial educational channel. This thing broke out. If you just draw a line with all these contact points right here, it broke out to the upside and it starts running. You can see this wick at the top, and this was all the pullback it can muster here. Now, this guy it's called a dark cloud or a bearish piercing, is this candlestick here. It reversed, but in this day here, it reversed it back. So the pullback was 1 day, and the buyers stepped in and said, oh, hell no, we're moving higher. So what you saw is this guy, it went up, reversed sharply down, closed, and then went down the next day and reversed sharply up. So what this is you have a dark cloud cover with a rising sun. This is called a bullish piercing and bearish piercing next to each other, and it shot higher. Now, is this going to continue? The short term, the momentum is so strong in this thing, I don't know which way this thing's going to go, but it's looking very good. Here is Blue Sky Uranium. Someone wanted me to chart this, and I'm charting it for you. This is what I see. I see a big resistance line right here. It even popped off it here, and what happens here is you hit it, it bounces back. You hit it, it bounces back. Now, you're going to say, why is this time different? And I'm going to show you why this time is different. Uranium is now out of its downtrend, going to the upside. We've got oil going to its upside. We have all of the things moving to the upside. This is what makes it different, is these charts are good when you back it with market conditions and valuations. Uranium is extremely cheap, and the market conditions are going to push us forward. So what I see in Blue Sky is, if we can get there, Blue Sky, we've hit it, it came back, we hit it, it came back. Now there's some things I want you to notice. This guy here and this guy here, this guy's making a new low because this is lower than this. So it broke out of this pattern here to the downside, came back up, broke down because of COVID, came back up, touched, and now we're coming back, but this low is higher than this low, or you could say it's even just right at it, but this is higher than this. So now what that means is that we're moving with momentum up into the resistance line right here. And what it did is it came up, touched it, bounced back off, and it's resting here is what I like to call it. And it's going to make a run at it. And once it runs at this and breaks through this line, this resistance line, it'll probably break through on a big day. Maybe it'll back test it, and then we're going to move on to the upside. Remember, keep the valuation in your head about how undervalued uranium is, and then focus on the market conditions. What is the price of uranium doing? What is inflation doing? Inflation being what's the dollar doing? What's tips doing? Combine all this together in your analysis. And if you have the market conditions where the wind is completely at your back, I would be aggressive if you like Blue Sky and probably buy it now. There's no reason to wait because you've got the wind at your back. Now, do what you want to do. That's not advice by any means. What I'm saying is focus on market conditions, focus on value, and then cost average in accordingly. Next is base load, and I drew this upward channel in there, and we're right at the upward channel. Now, is this going to pull back? I don't know. If you look, we have a bearish engulfing pattern here, but the next day next to it is showing upward momentum. It opened low, but finished with the momentum going to the upside, but it was still a down day. So we might be putting in a little pattern even down here, where we kind of do a little flag and then maybe we break to the upside because we've got uranium moving upward. So don't just think that this thing's going to fall back down, because all the other companies have broken to the upside. We're seeing breakouts to the upside in the entire sector. So my inclination here is that it's going to break to the upside. GoviEx uranium, and I like GoviEx. Every time I look at GoviEx, I start liking it more. It broke its downtrend, and we're fighting up here, but my guess is it's probably going to continue upward. Here's Fission Uranium Corp. So I drew this along, drew the chart pattern in here, and we're kind of sitting in the middle of the chart pattern here. We've got some resistance, maybe the high here. Once it breaks this high right here, maybe we head on up and try going after this chart pattern. So that's Fission. Next is Centrus Energy Corp, and people wanted me to chart this thing out, and this is what it looks like charted out. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4 hits on this upward pattern, upward channel, I mean. And here's the lower bound upward channel, and we're going back and forth between here. That's what LEU looks like. I didn't zoom in on this, but this is what it looks like from a big picture perspective for LEU. So, a couple of things here that I want to really make my point. Things are changing extremely rapid. So I made a video on a pullback. It only pulled back for a day for some of these companies, and then it reversed sharply to the upside. Now, my suggestion would be look at my technical analysis videos. Those videos teach you on what to look for in the chart patterns. I can do market updates, but the thing is, these things are changing so rapidly that I'm not going to be releasing daily videos on what's happening per day unless you want me to do that. If you want me to do that, leave that in the comment section, and I can do daily updates if that's what the channel wants. Look at my technical analysis videos. I've got part 1 released. I'm releasing part 2, and I'm making a part 3. This is going to give you the entire package of how to read these charts so you can make decisions real time if you want to on your purchases. I am only using technical analysis to make purchases. I'm not buying in and out of these companies. I'm selling companies that I'm rotating out of, and that's what's funding me to buy these companies. I am locked, loaded, ready to go, and adding to these positions in uranium, oil, silver, gold, royalty companies, base metal companies. That's where I'm putting my money, and the bulk of my money is going to end up in these companies because they're all showing extremely good, not only chart patterns, but the valuations are unheard of. So I am very overweight in the commodity sector, very overweight. If you guys like this content, share it with friends, give me a thumbs up, leave comments. That helps the algorithms, I guess, so it helps me out. If you guys are making a bunch of money off this, congratulations. Thank you for listening to the channel. Share it with your friends, share it with your family, and share it with whomever you'd like. Thank you guys for listening. This is Finding Value.